Grow a Garden is one of the most viral games on Roblox right now. It currently has over 1 million concurrent players as I'm speaking. However, after the original owner got exposed, Do Big Studios has taken over the game. However, after successfully killing Fish, it has left many fans wondering if they will do the same to Grow a Garden. But if you don't know what Grow a Garden is, it's basically just a simulator game where you grow your own garden. However, over the past week, the game has completely blew up, with over 915 million total visits, with over 1 million people playing right as we speak. The game recently got taken over by Do Big Studios, who, if you don't know, started in 2020 and recently took over the game Fish. However, since they took over that game, it had completely gone downhill, and with them taking over Grow a Garden, it has left many fans worried that they will ruin that game. But before we dive deeper, make sure to subscribe with notifications on to help me reach 100,000 subscribers and to never miss an upload on my channel ever again. However, before we go over exactly why people hate Do Big Studios, we must first go over why Grow a Garden got exposed in the first place. This is because the original owner of the game, BMW Lux, had been called out on Twitter for a list of horrible things. On the 6th of May 2025, a Roblox developer by the name of Joshua is Minecraft would make a Twitter post calling out the original owner of Grow a Garden. It would read, "Front page Roblox developer and creator of Grow a Garden exposed. BMW Lux/Adrian has a long history of scamming, backdooring, false bans, DMCA abuses, and even doxing. And now his new game, Grow a Garden, recently hit 1.5 million concurrent players." The thread would include accusations that BMW Lux was involved with doxing and threats, many cases of this developer stealing other games, even uploading gore and to get other small developers banned off Roblox. There is many more cases of BMW Lux and his bad history, and I would actually make a whole video on this situation, so if you want to find out the disgusting actions in depth from this developer, make sure to check that out. However, ever since that developer got exposed over on Twitter by Josh and over on YouTube by me, the game Grow a Garden has recently been bought and given to Do Big Studios. Around about 6 months ago, Do Big Studios, who at the time was known for owning Blade Ball, had made the decision to acquire and buy Fish, one of Roblox's biggest games at the time. However, the community knew this was a bad decision, with fans over on Reddit stating this: "The game's gonna be shit. Used to be an administrator for Do Big. It'll get updated to hell with marketing shit, probably a free UGC every month or something, but for the most part it's gonna become a cash grab." Or another user who would state this: "Hell, time to quit whilst I can." I think it was pretty clear that people weren't exactly happy with what Do Big Studios had done with games in the past. And honestly, ever since they bought out Fish, the game has only gone downhill, with many fans quitting the game because they bought it. A user over on YouTube by the name of Iconic Tarkin would make a very good video titled "The Evil Mastermind of Do Big Studios Gaming Studios," and would go over the many reasons why the community hates the studio.
Do Big Studios, with over 8 billion combined visits on all their games, is well known for approaching games and trying to buy them, and pretty much changing the game entirely from what it originally was, with them having games such as Blade Ball, A Dusty Trip, and Gym League under their directive control. It's fair to say that they are one of Roblox's most leading game companies/studios, but despite their success, they are very much hated amongst Roblox communities, for the simple reason of taking games to the next level of pay to win/pay to have fun. Everyone knows that Blade Ball has become one of Roblox's most pay to win games, which was not what it was set out to be, but that's no thanks to Do Big, who invested $1.5 thousand into the early stages of development, and with the game only having 2 developers at the time, being Giddy and Chunch Bunch, they struggled to deal with a lot of bug fixes, so they had to call for help, with Do Big taking 75% of the shares and taking over the monetization of the game entirely. With them now having all this power over the game, they needed one more thing, and that's their money back. So with that, they made the game extremely pay to win, covering the screen with pop-ups, new events, and ways players could spend their money to have an advantage over others. As with any games company, you never just stop at one game, you set out to buy other games and apply the same concepts, hoping to make more money and more profits. So this time, they decided to set out and do the same thing with A Dusty Trip.
And with comments such as, "These people buy good games like Fish and A Dusty Trip and start adding bad updates to the games and add a ton of gambling and pay to win." And another comment that would read, "I have genuinely grown a deep hatred for this developer group. The only thing they do is buy actually fun games and turn them into soulless, shiny simulators only focused on bringing them money. It is genuinely sad so many developers are willing to do things like this for money." And I think it's safe to say that the community of Roblox overall has has a very deep hatred for this studio. Basically what they will do is see a big game such as Forsaken, lowball the owners of the game with an offer to buy it, and once they push hard enough they will eventually get a deal. Then once they receive a massive percentage of ownership and revenue, they will just make the game pay to win and ruin it for everybody who isn't willing to spend hundreds of dollars on Robux. And funnily enough, they would even try to buy Forsaken as well. However, the owner would refuse to sell it to them. And over the past week or two, a lot of people have noticed that Do Big Studios have also bought Grow a Garden, which, like I said in the intro, has become extremely viral recently, being the fastest game to reach 1 million concurrent players. However, if you go ahead and search on YouTube Do Big Studios and Grow a Garden, you will see a lot of people making videos claiming that this is going to ruin the game forever. But how about we test the game out ourselves and check out if it has changed at all, because from what I know, Grow a Garden was a pretty chill and not pay to win game. Okay guys, so I'm on Roblox right now, and as we can see, this Grow a Garden game has nearly 1 million active players right now. And so yeah, like I said, this game, as far as I know, used to be a pretty chill, non-pay to win game. Alright, so we're in the game right now, and it's asking me to go buy my first seed. Okay, so I have 20 cents, so basically I can get the common seed, or I can get, well, I guess they have no stock. I don't know how that works, but okay, well, it's not so good that you can buy Robux. You can buy any of these for Robux, and you can even restock items if you pay Robux. Damn, they have a whole battle pass system as well. I think this is battle pass, or it's like weekly rewards or something, but you still have to pay Robux for some of it. And of course they've got the pet system, which 250 Robux for an extra pet equip. Extra pet slot is 250, and that's not even for the eggs or anything. And obviously you can buy the currency in the game. Yeah, I mean, it's basically just pay to win, but it's not as aggressive as some of these other games that we see. I mean, can you even start a garden without paying? Okay, so they have these eggs, which I'm guessing give you like abilities and perks in the game if you get a pet and stuff. And it costs 50,000 cents each, which is about, damn, that's about 9,000 Robux just to hatch one egg. And obviously you can get money from just growing a garden, but still, it clearly takes time if it costs 9,000 Robux to do it, to pay for it, you know? Okay, so let's see how much we get back just from 2 simple carrots, which is what you spawn off with. Okay, so you get 40 cents back for the 20 cents you've paid for, so, and that's with a 10% boost, which is like 1 cent, so yeah, I mean, you're still gonna have to either grind or you can just pay to win, like every other game that Big Studios owns. So yeah guys, after playing the game myself, it doesn't look as bad as like Pet Simulator, but it is still definitely pay to win. And obviously this is going to happen when Do Big Studios owns the game. However, I still think you can profit whilst not making the game pay to win, which I will talk about at the end of today's video. Even popular Roblox YouTuber SDennisS would make a video titled "How Do Big Studios Will Ruin Grow a Garden," and would state exactly what everybody had been thinking over the past week.
Do Big Studios is just a company that goes around and buys games. And when you buy a game, there is only one reason you do it: to profit. We're talking millions of dollars, remember? In this case, Do Big Studios try to profit as quickly as possible. Take Minecraft as example. Back in 2014, Minecraft was bought by Microsoft for $2.5 billion. It sure did add microtransactions to the Bedrock edition of the game, but Microsoft did end up profiting, with the game being worth $4 to $10 billion now. Do Big Studios also profit by buying games, but they try to profit as quickly as possible, sometimes with dirty ways, as we've seen, and that leads to games becoming pay to win, like Fisch did after Do Big bought it, and Grow a Garden will be no exception.
And even Creekcraft, one of Roblox's most popular and respected YouTubers, would have something to say about the game, dropping a video on his channel yesterday talking about what everybody has been thinking, with a video titled "The Downfall of Roblox." And maybe the title was a bit dramatic, but Creekcraft would still have some very valid things to point out when it came to Do Big Studios buying Grow a Garden.
So is Roblox being ruined by games like this here, Grow a Garden, Fisch? Recently there's been a bunch of drama on Twitter. Tweets like, "These games are trash, no apology." Basically saying that games like Grow a Garden don't deserve the success that they're currently getting. Saying that these big studios who own these games are just gonna straight up stop caring about players, the game's gonna die, and they basically just make the game overly pay to win to steal your money. And honestly, this might be a video that gets me in a lot of trouble, right? Because I'm sure a lot of people in the Roblox developer community probably aren't gonna like what I'm gonna say here, but we're gonna say it anyway.
Pointing out the very bad problem with Do Big Studios buying games and then making them pay to win just for a little bit of money, which ultimately ends up killing the games.
It's just all of these games being made with only one goal in mind, and that is to make money. They don't care about the players no more, they don't care about the community, they just want to make money.
With Creekcraft even stating how Do Big Studios has killed many games in the past on the platform, and that Grow a Garden is possibly their next target.
How to kill your game 101. Stop caring about your casual players and make it pay to win. And this is what all these big companies do. Here's another tweet that kind of enforces this point, right? So here's another picture here. Do Big Studios, right? They buy Dusty Trip. It kind of gets pay to win. They add in a bunch of microtransaction. Game dies, right? Blade Ball, same thing. Oh my God, the amount of microtransaction and pay to win features in Blade Ball. Boom, look at that, game dead. Fish. Guess what Fish started doing? They added in a bunch of microtransactions. And now, well, let's actually take a look and see how Fish is doing. So here's the page for Fish. Let's scroll on down here. Let's go to the player charts. Let's go by daily players, concurrent players. And as you can see, it is going down. But hold on a minute. What about Blade Ball, right? What about Blade Ball? Right, Blade Ball is one of the biggest games on Roblox. How is it doing here? Well, let's take a look. Daily players, all players, and down. What about a Dusty Trip? Let's check out a Dusty Trip here. Let's look at its player counts. Same thing, daily players, all time, and down. Now, is that same thing going to happen to Grow a Garden? Probably. Honestly, probably at some point.
Ending off his video by stating how exactly he feels about Do Big Studios.
Why do these games have the ability to live 5, 6, 7, 8 years, but games like Blade Ball and Fish and Dusty Trip, how come they just die out after a few months? Well, it's because of this right here. These developers, these large companies, they just load the game up with microtransactions because they want to just get as much money as possible, and once they've wrung the cow dry, they kill it, take it around back, boom, old Yeller, and then they move on to the next game. That's just how it works.
But what do I personally think of all this? Well, I obviously don't like Do Big Studios. They ruin every game they touch with pay to win, and it's very clear, at least to me, what they want out of all this. And obviously, I don't have a problem with a business being a business, but it's just what happens in life. Do Big Studios are not only trying to be profitable, but they are being greedy. There is a fine line between being greedy and just being profitable. However, if they really wanted to, they could easily get the best of both worlds. You don't have to make a game pay to win to add microtransactions. Almost every game we know outside of Roblox does this, like in Fortnite how you spend V-Bucks on skins, because people are willing to buy these cosmetics just because they love the game. However, it doesn't give you an advantage, so even if you're a brand new player, you can get the same experience without having to spend any money. I think this is a much better approach at going about these games, rather than just selling out and making them pay to win. People love customization, and that's all you need to make money. Not charging people to complete the game faster than the next person. All it does is ruin the fun for everybody else. But yeah guys, let me know in the comments what you think about all this, what your thoughts are on Do Big Studios, and if you think that they will ruin Grow a Garden, or if it will be any different this time. But as always, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy content like this, please make sure to subscribe with notifications on to help me reach 100,000 subscribers, and if you want to watch something similar to this, click the video on screen now.